It's Monday. Time for the Man Cave, Volume 2. Introducing your fantastic hosts.
Monday night, the cave comes alive. Plastic legends and heroes thrive. From the shelf to the heart, they jump and dive. Collectors unite under neon's glow, ever rare in the retro steal the show. Welcome to the Man Cave, Volume 2, where the old and the new find a view. Stacked to the ceiling, dreams come true. The Man Cave, it's calling you. It's calling you.
And welcome everyone to the Man Cave Volume 2. Tonight's episode is number 32, and that will be Brian Savage. Now, we are possibly having some difficulties because Brian Savage has not checked in yet. So we're still hoping that he's able to check in. We don't know. We haven't heard from him. So we're going to wing it, and hopefully he shows up tonight. So with that being said, I'm going to bring in my first guest, and that will co-host. Well, that will be Jerry. Hey, Jerry, how are you?
Hey, good evening. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. Everything good all around the house and everything?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I see your collection there is looking really nice.
Yes.
Yep.
Thank you very much.
Mm-hmm. When are you gonna package that all off to me then? No.
when we move out, I guess.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Let's bring in Dan. Hey, Dan.
What's
how are
up,
you?
everybody?
You doing good?
I'm doing well. Doing beautiful.
Doing good. Good.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah. I'm just looking at all the people in the chat right now, checking in. I was just kind of just reading all the names in there. And so.
Very nice.
And yes, that is Toys Are Fun is a throwback to Terry.
Yes, it is.
Moondoggy made a comment about that. That's exactly what it's for.
Yep. All right, and here comes Ernie.
What's up, guys? How's everything going?
How you doing? Where is this where you're going to be starting to shoot from all the time now? You don't have any shelving that you're going to...
You know what? Because I got rid of that display case, it's not that area is not done yet.
Oh,
I still have not found that right display case. So for right now, I'm just going to film here, and then once I get that display case, then I'll shoot over there again.
Yeah.
What he needs is some mood lighting and some candles with that little. It's like Ernie's Lounge is what it looks like with that throw there, that leopard.
Would a cranberry tequila drink be okay with this lounge?
You should be wearing a smoking jacket too, like
smoking jacket and a pipe.
Yeah. We chip in
Mr. Hefner.
like red with like a black fur, collar.
I've got a pipe too, and I got a cigar. I could do either one with my lounge.
That would be perfect. There you go.
I got cigars too, but I don't want to because of everything behind me.
And you may want to hang up one of those velour posters behind you.
I do have some, as a matter of fact.
We need to find. Let's see here.
You need a velvet painting of Elvis behind you.
No. He needs the. Do you remember the movie The Shining?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You remember Scatman Crothers? He was in a room and he had a big felt poster behind that.
Oh yeah.
That's what you need. That exact print. We'll be throwing off YouTube for it, but what the hell?
I was going to say,
that could be arranged, perhaps.
IKEA has some nice display cases.
They do. Yeah.
I am not that crazy about their stuff because it doesn't match the all of the wood china cabinets that I have are all solid wood.
Oh, okay.
And they're all so. Even though that display case probably is not going to match, you know what? I guess it doesn't
not
matter.
to break this up. I think we need to bring in our fifth guy as we jibber jabber away.
Do we have somebody else? Oh, yeah, we do.
We're jibber jabbering away, forgetting about it.
Yeah. Murray, where are you?
Hey, Murray.
There he is.
Murray.
What's up, Murray?
How are you?
I am really good. And how are
Thanks
all
for
of you?
joining us.
Yeah, Ernie, I really think an ascot, the nice big robe, a pipe, silk.
Now we're
pajamas.
talking. There you go.
There you go. You'd be like all golden, man.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
That
Would
could
not
be
be bad.
done.
You know, the big felt picture or velvet picture of the dogs playing poker.
There we go.
Okay.
Sure, you've
all
got
right.
one at the compound.
Exactly.
You know what? There's a lot of art in the compound, as a
I
matter of
bet
fact.
there is.
Yep. I have a lot of 60s. I don't know if you guys remember, back in the 60s and the 70s, they had that really modern century paintings, and they had lights like behind with like foil paper, and you would plug it in.
Yeah.
It could be like a French provincial city lights.
Yeah.
Or so I have a few of those.
Wow.
Yeah.
Good Lord, son. You got a little of everything, don't you?
God, you were born in the
That
60s?
compound is huge.
You're
It must
old.
be.
I am very eclectic, believe me.
Being that the show's going off the rails, everybody get like back in the 80s where what was it like? They had like the filament, they had a light on them. Yeah, like what do you call it? The light filament. What do they call those things? What do they call them? The
Fluorescent?
Black light?
no, they had the little clear things, and you
They
put a
were
light on it.
clear filaments.
It's how you when you did your models. What was it
Yeah.
called? I can't remember what it's called. Oh my god, my brain's gotten old and
I
pickled.
can't remember what they're called.
Do you remember when you built a model and you wanted to light it up and you put these little plastic rods through them and you cut them all off? This
Yeah, those fiber.
Yeah.
Oh,
fiber
fiber optic. There we go.
optic.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Thank you.
At this rate, we'll be 3 hours even without Brian.
What the fuck?
My head hurts.
My
now.
brain.
I had to think that.
Jeez. But anyways, yeah, back in the 80s, remember those things? They were everywhere. You go to Spencer's Gifts and you bought them. And they all had the fiber optic lights and
Yeah, and the
plants
lights
and
would
flowers
change
and
and the
stuff like that.
tips would change color.
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember those.
Yep.
Also, I'd be remiss if I didn't wish my best friend, local toy collector friend, very happy 60th birthday.
Oh, happy
Adrian,
birthday. Yay! Happy
Happy birthday.
Is he
You
in
made
the
it.
chat?
His 60th birthday. So
What's
Is
his
he in the
name?
chat?
What's his
Adrian,
name?
his name is Adrian.
Adrian. Happy birthday, Adrian.
There you go.
Thank you, Sean.
Yeah, the answers are all there. We wouldn't want to do that, Sean.
Yeah.
One
No,
out
that's
of you guys
cheating.
laughing at us.
I
We
can't
actually
remember
have to
the
make our
words.
brains work.
Fiber optic.
If we don't read, we talk more.
How many models did I build using that stuff? And I'm like, I couldn't remember the word.
Well, because you
Oh,
didn't
good
need to know
Lord.
the name.
So,
Yeah, Andy was first.
Yep.
all right.
Andy
Yep.
was first.
Let's do our romper room roll
All
call.
right, let's do our
Yep.
chat. All right, let's go ahead and visit. We're doing pretty good at 22. That's not bad. So Andy was first. Obviously, we got Murray. We got Matthew O'Connor. Thanks, Matthew, for joining in. Let's see. We have Sean from Huckster Labs. Thank you for joining us in.
Hey, John.
We have Jack Hall. We have Moon Doggy. What's up,
My
Moon
man.
Doggy? We have Adam LeMay. Thanks for joining us. We have representing the UK, Ronald, as usual.
Hey, Ronnie.
I am the majestic potato in the house again.
Potato Queen.
Again. Loves
Big Boss
loves the
Jack
punishment.
is in the house.
The man,
And we have Robert Glenn.
Robert.
All the good people are here.
We got Lone Wolf.
Yeah, Jim's back in town. That's
Yeah,
good.
man.
My man.
We have Astro Joe. Thanks for joining in.
Craig.
Greg.
Yeah.
We got Paul Knapp.
PK.
Our mentor.
PK.
We have David Franks. Thanks for joining us, David.
Yay.
Hey, David.
And we have Kang11. Thanks for joining us again, Kang.
Nice.
So we appreciate everybody that joins in.
I get to wave one more flag. Read the latest one. Call it out. I get to wave another flag.
Doll Base. We have Doll Base in the house.
And I was ready for you.
Yeah. Last couple of weeks.
Yeah, we've missed Doll Base for a little while, right?
Yeah.
But thanks for joining back in. And I believe I've covered everybody. If I miss somebody, I apologize. But I think that's everybody.
Yeah. Even Jack's here. And Boss Man. Gotta love it.
Yep.
It's a good crowd tonight.
Yeah, very good. Very good.
And thank you very much for everybody that consistently shows up. We really appreciate it. We got a very loyal fan base, and we really, really are appreciative.
Yeah.
Thank you all.
Okay.
So, any word from Brian? MIA.
And I was just looking again. No.
I'm monitoring the emails, so we'll see.
So I guess we're just gonna have to ad lib.
Situation normal.
We may have to reschedule for him again. And then,
Well,
that means we have more time to share.
There you go.
Hey, if anybody wants to jump in, just let us know.
Who wants to be first?
Hey, I'm in.
Yep. If everybody wants to join the show,
You know what? So Dan doesn't get his feelings hurt. We're gonna go ahead and start with Murray.
there we go.
No. I don't know if that's a good idea.
Murray, I'm showing motorcycles this week.
Gee, I told you guys what I was showing this week. I'm not going first.
But we have to keep it PG.
Yeah.
I'm volunteering. I'm going last because I got a special thing for one of our big guys here.
Okay. Then I will go first then.
Oh no, Stacy has stuff.
Yeah, I have just one thing today. So I restored the Joe. This is, I won't say what it is. Anybody recognize?
Survival?
It's a G.I. Joe from the Adventure Team.
Yep.
Yeah, and he has a walkie-talkie, a compass. He has a brown holster with a black unpainted.
Is that the Green Danger one there? Green Snake Danger?
The black. It's the LaBelle revolver. That's
the black LaBelle.
Is that a Mike Power shirt?
No, it is not.
Good Lord,
comes
no.
with
Don't even
the
joke
map case. It also comes. I have both versions. So for this, it has the hard canteen with the clip. And then this also has the later issue soft canteen that you can squish. It's soft.
You got the whole deal.
That's
Long-range recon.
Danger and snake bit mountain.
Long-range recon.
I'm going to call it
Long range.
Thanks, Jack.
I'm going to call it the Danger Set of Los Angeles.
Yeah.
You cheated. You didn't know what it was.
If you guys aren't reading the comments, it's not enough.
You shouldn't cheat.
I'm going to find it real quick.
Yeah, I know. I couldn't get away from my desk to get to it.
Put that away. We have to wait till Daryl's on the show.
Yeah.
Cheating. You're supposed to see if you could rack your brain and figure it out.
I couldn't remember the name, and I'm not stupid. I take advantage of.
That is new though. It was soft. I was.
Well, at least you're honest about it.
Yeah, I didn't know they made soft canteens.
Yeah, Craig's right. I didn't know either.
At the very end.
Now, was that
there's
for the
two versions
military
of the
line?
soft canteen too. There's a black painted cap on it, which that one is, and then there's a one that's unpainted. That's the very last.
But was that from the 60s as well, or that was new for the 70s?
That's Adventure Team. That's Adventure Team. That was like a 75 issue, I think, and then 70.
That's interesting.
Yeah, because black LaBelle too. See, there's no paint on it.
You're a good man, Jack.
That's cool. Yep.
That is
nice. Very nice.
Yeah.
And I remember the set in the book, and I just couldn't remember the name to save my life.
Yeah, it took me a while to get the revolver.
Same pattern for the clothing as the Mike Power thing.
Yes. And isn't that sort of like the British paratrooper? Paramilitary?
Yeah,
it's
sort
close.
of. Yeah.
It's close.
Very close. Yeah. Okay. Let's bring, as promised, let's bring in Dan.
What?
You weren't listening.
I wanted to. I'm looking through who. I want to acknowledge. Yes, our intro and outro have been updated. So stay tuned when you watch the end. Very different. Very different.
Yes.
So, all right. Couple things here. Since we're gonna take some time. We're gonna lay back and chill, man.
Oh, okay.
Something like that. Let's step on Paul's toes a little bit, which I posted on his TST last week. But I went to Dollar General, and they're starting to put their Halloween stuff out. And
Oh no.
if you're into 54 millimeter stuff,
Why?
they're putting out their little 54 millimeter monsters. These are all skeletons.
Well, that's cool.
You get eight in a package. My local one here is you're not gonna find any skeletons in it because guess what?
You bought them.
So yeah. So that's 24 skeletons right there for $3.
Where was that at?
Andy.
This is Dollar General.
Oh,
You
Dollar
could
General.
add like a little
they have, like-
blackwash on it, right? And give it some shadow.
Yeah, I bought these last year. I think did Fun Ghoul last year show these? I think. Oh, but anyways, and he'll be back this year. So anyways, but yeah. So you just put a wash on them, you're good to go.
This is for Andy. This is for Andy.
ASMR. We're doing ASMR.
Can you read that, Dan?
Yes.
Read your screen.
At the bottom.
Andy, I'm glad you did because Andy, you are the star of the show tonight.
Yes, he is.
But I did get I will put this together, and I got all my packages from Jerry, from my Arctic Captain.
Oh, nice.
Captain Action, and Edmund. After like a month of shipping, it finally showed up. I got the belt and all the missing parts.
Nice.
So this is a little teaser. I'll be putting that together. But tonight the focus is on something that I worked with Andy and Indy on, and when Andy came out with the screaming, the emotion Joe heads, there was a character that I thought has never really had good justice on the 1/6 scale, and what I did was I did some, I went digging on the internet and I found like what I think is the quintessential look of this character, and I put it together, and I sent my stuff to Andy, and he created this for me. But I'm going to give you a teaser. This is my cheap box. I'm going to keep them in.
Yay.
That's right, Sergeant Rock.
See, my box says
Nice.
Andy. So,
All right.
but let me show them to you. Dun, 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 dun. Here he is,
Very nice.
Amazing. Just
Sergeant
beautiful.
Rock,
Look at that. And painted by Dan.
hand painted by me. He's got the full
Very well done.
there.
Take the helmet off.
Now people be giving me a hard time about what
Remove the-
regiment he belongs to.
remove the
But in the
helmet.
comics, he was in like a whole bunch of different. He was always on Easy Company, but he belonged to different.
Remove the helmet.
Oh wait, let's get him.
Remove the
Let's get. Well, we will, but let's look with the
Hey,
helmet
Dan,
on.
Hey, Dan, did Andy do the head sculpt?
Andy did the head sculpt. I painted
Wow,
it, but I mean, it's like
That looks great, Andy.
And ready?
Look at that.
He's a little shiny. I probably should,
A little
better.
bit of a Bruce Willis look, just a little bit.
but
Early
yeah.
Bruce.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you're right.
that is
looks
nice.
great, man. Looks great.
Incredibly well done.
This
Yeah,
is
good job. Good
fantastic.
painting job too.
This is he is. I always thought the 1/6 scale Sergeant Rocks never did it for me. They were always missing something, and this one here he looks like Sergeant Rock.
He
I mean,
does.
the textures. Come on, focus.
Now, Dan, you're saying that he was also made by other.
Dreams and Visions made him.
You mean that
Yeah.
like that 6?
Yeah,
or
I mean that was just
7?
So I mean, and there's been a couple other like aftermarket type stuff, but nothing that really. I mean, to me, if you want a Sergeant Rock figure, contact Andy. Get one of these head sculpts. It looks. I pulled this directly from like the comic books, the drawings of the comic books,
That's
and
cool.
so this is gonna, I think, without blowing my own horn here, which I'm very good at doing. I think it's the quintessential.
No, it's awesome,
Look.
Dan. I think
That's really well
DC
done.
Direct.
You guys-
did
I got
one,
him. I got him like
13
that.
inch.
And then it's got the canteen.
Very
And he's
nice.
got the
That's cool.
and then because I went a little old school on him, so I mean, I even get I think these were old
Where
Cotswold.
did you? Is
laced
that
up
like
boots.
clothes from Dragon?
These are 21st century actually. The
21st
outfit. Yeah, and I
That's cool.
dirtied them up and I ruined them. So, but I mean, nice and dirty. Get that, and I put him on a like a muscle type body. So,
Does he have neck articulation back and forth?
this one doesn't have any looking there, but I can turn it sideways.
Left and
You know,
right,
so
yeah,
that's
of
about
course.
it. But he's gonna be posed and looking badass. But
Yeah.
Looks good, Dan.
Andy, you did it. Oh, and this is one of those. This is a metal helmet.
Metal helmet. Did you put the sticker on it, Dan? The,
Oh yeah.
chevron on it.
There he is, right there, man. He's bad.
And what about his arm patches? You put those on there too?
Yep, I printed everything up myself and made it all, and
Oh, jazz.
yeah.
That's nice.
I could tell you, I always thought he was overranked, but he didn't need to be like a master sergeant. I mean, he could just be just a regular sergeant,
I gotta make me a Sergeant Savage.
but this is like, but there he is, guys. Andy, I love it.
Bravo.
Thank you.
Very
I know
cool.
I know it's taken a few weeks for me to get them done, but I wanted to do them justice, and I really wanted to, because I just love the sculpt. I think it's a great job. So, and that's all I got to say about that.
I miss 21st.
Man,
So
Okay,
do I.
Forrest.
that was an
Reasonably priced,
amazing
decent
toy line.
outfits.
So,
Never mind their figures.
All right.
and that's what I got for
And
tonight. So,
Jerry is
Very
up.
well done, Dan.
thank you. Just give all the props to Andy. He's the one.
He
He's
did.
the one who he rendered it, and he did. I mean, just it's a beautiful sculpt. Really
Yeah,
is.
he's
To be honest with you, and I got to be honest with you,
master
if you're not really
3D
that good of a
sculptor.
painter, even if you're not that good of a painter, the sculpt is so good, you're gonna get a good result off it. I mean, it's just so he did such a. It's got all like the wrinkles and all the things that this guy. He's a war. I mean, if anybody's familiar with the comic, this guy's been through hell and back, and he's rugged, and he's got the wrinkles, and
Does he have a team?
but it's Easy Company.
Oh,
Yeah.
Easy Company.
Yeah.
It's like the Dreams and Visions. So all those.
Yeah.
Oh,
Five.
that's right. Yeah, of course.
Remember Mademoiselle Marie
Yeah,
and all that? Yeah, that's all part of it. So, but I just wasn't a big fan of the Sergeant Rock in that. Didn't just,
Moondoggy says he needs to be blonde.
Ooh.
all the pictures I saw, he was like a brunette.
Burnett.
That's what I thought
So-
too. But
Maybe a dirty blonde?
Maybe
be.
it's the new comics.
To
You
be
know,
honest with you,
he's young
there's been some. I mean, he's been around for what
ever.
60 years, 70 years. So it's
As long as
nothing.
most of us, pretty much.
But I basically what I did was I went through and I found the ones I thought were the best looking, and I kind of came up with an idea what he looked like.
you could always put some blonde highlights into the brown if you like.
Actually, there is.
Some dry brushing. Yeah.
Yeah, there is some dry brushing out. There is some kind of highlights on it. I don't know if it's really picking up. I think it's because for some reason I did
Bring
dull
it back up.
I did dull coat him and
Oh yeah, they're there. Yeah.
Yeah, I see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah
Okay.
I did dull coat him, but it's still he's a little bit sweatier
It's a
looking.
little too shiny. Yeah.
He's just
Is it
sweaty.
probably-
He's not shiny. He's
Just the
sweaty.
humidity down there in South Carolina, you know.
It's hot. It's hot in Europe this time.
Always hot
Yeah.
down there, dude.
Yeah. So,
Rains all the time.
but he's got his machine guns. He's got his. And he's all ready. And of course, he's got the Thompson.
Yeah, very nice.
All right.
You got to pose them running.
Pardon me?
back.
You got to pose them running.
Yeah. I'll try to get his canteen back on, guys. I know this is riveting. Okay, there it goes. So. But that's what I got for tonight, guys.
That's
All right,
a great
back to-
tribute.
Back to Jerry. Sorry,
Ron.
Jerry. I didn't know he was gonna.
All right, I have a story to tell.
Yay!
It's story time, children.
Story
going
time.
going down memory lane. So, what did I do? So
Hey,
one
Jerry.
of the things with the Collectors Club.
Hey, Jerry.
yeah.
Do you have a way to get a hold of Brian because he just logged in? and I don't know if I should bring him in now.
Um,
Do you have a way to
all I
hold him?
have is email. He didn't.
He didn't
let me
respond to
see.
you.
No, he didn't.
All right, I'm going to put him backstage. We're going to take a chance. Okay, so
He
he's
should
in,
be able to
Hopefully
hear us,
he's
right?
watching and
Yeah,
Well,
you can
yeah,
hear
he
us
should
from
be able to hear us,
backstage.
so.
Yeah.
Hey, Brian,
we'll bring you in a
just so you
second.
know, yeah, we'll be with you in a few moments. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, go ahead.
All right, so I'm going to make this quick then. In honor of our guest today, Brian, did so much for the club and GI Joe. I started collecting, obviously, the mini comics that came with the con sets.
Yes.
Right. So there's a couple of them. So we actually started out, the last figure that was released by the club as a club exclusive, as most of you probably know, is Darkon Gore, right?
Yep.
So he was a club exclusive. Now, so how do we get to that? So I'm just really quick, right? So it all starts with Secret Mission, the Spy Island. You guys remember that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
For those fans, right? So we know that plans were stolen, so he had to go to Spy Island. And what happened to that island? He blew it up, right? You guys remember that? So what happens is now they had to send another Adventure Team Joe out there, and it was called what was that comic?
Return to Spy Island.
Return to Spy Island, right? Thank you very much, Murray. So there, it's a new island. He's on it. He's trying to figure out what it is because they saw a moving island. So he's there on the island, and again, he blows it up, right? Who's running the island, based on the comics, is actually, they don't mention Destro, but Destro is running that island for weapons manufacturing, obviously. Now, that island is full of soldiers, and they were the Mars henchmen, right? Now, this one's a custom henchman that I made because it came with the concept. This is a combination of Cotswold Collectibles, Project R, if you guys remember, Skip, and some eBay purchases. I made 2 of these. So these were the guards on that Spy Island, the Return to Spy Island. So now, after he blew up the island, one of the guards survived. His name was Carl. This is all from the club. I'm not making any of this up. So he survived. Cobra picked him up, and that's where he turned into Man of Evil. Again, this is a club membership figure this time.
I got one.
So he used to be a Mars henchman, and he has the scar because he was, they had to kind of like rebuild him. So he has a feature built into his system where he could change, kind of like Zartan. He can change into different characters. So one of the plans was to infiltrate the G.I. Joe headquarters. So they made him into the Lost Adventurer so he can sneak in to the Adventure Team headquarters. And this was an extra outfit that came with Man of Evil, including a mask. You guys remember that set? That's an actual mask he has on. So they were on sale. So I actually bought 2 Man of Evil. So that's him, right? The story goes on where there's another island. This time, this island is called Dragon Island. And but we'll come back to that. Joe discovered that there was like in Africa this generator generating this high-powered machinery, and he found out that it was powering another facility to create super soldiers. So what they did is they grabbed the henchmen and they mummified them. Again, Cotswold Collectible. So after they put the compound on these soldiers, they turned them into super soldiers. So those were the Mars Henchman Trooper. Now this came out.
That's a bio wrap suit.
Right. That's right. That's the bio wrap suit. Thanks, Stacy. That's what it's called. And so again, this is a custom. So again, COTS and some other collectors out there helped me put together 2 of these. So I have 2 of the henchmen and 2 of the henchmen troopers. So these are super soldiers, right? So now the story goes on. They figure out that there's an island that's under Sebastian Gorman. So Sebastian Gorman was another con exclusive that ran Dragon Island. Now, this is a custom because
That's
the original
beautiful.
came from a convention set, right? So Joe was able to get on the island, on Dragon Island, and he went toe-to-toe with Sebastian Gore. He beat him up. I mean, they had a fight. He fell into a vat, he at the end of the comic shows him his hand coming out of a vat of green goo, indicating that he survived that fall. So again, that's Sebastian Gordon. Now they go on, I think years later in the future, we see Super Joe or G.I. Joe going to visit Mike Power at his facility. Mike Power's in a wheelchair. They're all old, and they want to stop this evil character that is trying to control the population of the world by controlling the food source. So G.I. Joe visits Mike Power so that he could be enhanced into what is known now as Super Joe. So this was the old Joe. Again, this is a club exclusive that was released also with Darkon. And the story ends that he meets Sebastian Gore. He actually survived that vat, and that's why he turned into this character. So these were the last figures provided from the club before they ended, the subscription.
Very
So that's
cool.
my story.
Very cool.
If you guys want, you can hit me up on Instagram if you want details. You want to create these stories yourself on a photo story, I encourage it. Actually, just talking about it has encouraged me to maybe do a photo story on some of this in the future.
You should.
So, yeah, that's all I have, Stacey. I don't want to take up too much time.
That's all.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, Murray.
That was amazing,
quick.
Dan.
Make
Those
it
are
quick,
great
please.
figures. Anyway, I'm not going to take long. I said last week, I told you guys I was going to do some astronauts.
Oh, nice.
We, of course, have a Buzz
Oh,
Aldrin.
very nice.
Yeah,
Yep.
Buzz Aldrin.
Yep, Buzz.
An Apollo landing.
Very nice.
Very good.
I don't know why you're
Why
showing it. All
are
that
they
stuff
still in
was-
the box?
Because the ones that are loose are up there.
Ah, okay. All right.
You know, they
And,
faked the moon landing.
Then we've got a Marks.
Who's that?
Oh,
Oh,
That's
nice.
from Marks.
yeah, that's
Yeah,
a marksman. Yep.
Yeah.
Johnny Apollo, right?
Yeah,
Yep.
I believe so. And, then, of course,
Oh yeah.
we all
There you
have to have at least one of these.
Planet Xenome.
Hey,
Yep.
anybody have an extra alien? I'm looking for one.
Which one?
Get in line, Jerry. I'm waiting
Doctor
too.
Who?
Doctor Who.
I want the blue alien if you've got.
I need the blue one too.
I
Everyone
have the
needs
blue
a blue
one.
one.
I need one of the other two. Just one more.
And then,
Ah.
you got to round
Oh
it
yeah,
out.
Action
Yeah.
Man.
Action
Yeah.
Man, that's very nice. Yeah.
And those are great. And then, I've got the first release Dragon Apollo figure up here.
Is that Buck?
But no, I don't. I think it's Aldrin. Just a sec.
Oh, I thought it was Buck.
No, it's Aldrin.
Is that okay?
It's the original Dragon release. That was only, when we all cringed at $50.
So, Murray, wait, do you have batteries still in the Action Man one? Because it makes noise.
Oh, yes, it does.
Let's hear it.
Oh, this one doesn't have batteries. Just a sec.
That's why we
Hey.
say to check the batteries.
That's right. Don't bring something on
remember
the show
remember when
that's
you gave me
battery
crap the
operated
last time, Murray?
without batteries.
Right.
Both of them are the batteries I took out because they've been sitting on the shelf. So
Uh-huh.
There you go.
I don't want them to go bad and rot the
And
inside.
you knew
How
since
about-
last week what you would be showing,
Shoot-
right?
shoot the
So-
whistle.
I
Murray.
just put this together at the last minute. Okay,
Murray,
that's
shoot
all
the
I've got
whistle.
because I want Brian to get on.
Yeah, all right. Let me
That's
bring
cool.
Ernie up so we can get Brian on that, okay?
Yep.
Thank you. Ernie, make it quick, please.
Okay, that's it. I'm done.
Yeah.
Okay. Goodbye. Do you,
Thanks, Hugh.
All
All right, I'll make it quick. I won't show everything I was going to show. I'll just show. So here's the completed Captain Action from the
Oh, very
set that the costume that Moon sent me. So I put them together with the extra body that I had.
Mhm.
And then
Nice.
Just throw it over your shoulder like I do.
Yeah.
no.
Respect.
And then I have Captain America trying to decide what shield to use, but he's already.
You just need another Captain America so you can display one with each shield.
That's a good idea.
That's true. That's true.
I want to find one of those shield other ones, the old school one, the triangle, because then I could do that with my two.
Yeah. So he came out really nice.
He really did. That is a nice figure.
And then I'll just save the other stuff for next week. No big deal.
Okay, well, you might want to, if you got something else you want to show, I'll wave at you when you need to finish it because Brian just got from his chair. So,
so I had bought. I'll make it really quick then. So I got together with Pat because he's been purging a lot of his stuff. And so I got some Cotswold bodies with some flocked heads. Missing a couple arms here and there, but I have parts from the Cotswold, so these are going to be easy repairs. But most of them are together.
Okay. Anytime you're ready.
Woo woo!
Nice.
And then for my good buddy Jerry, I have his super articulated body that he's been wanting. That'll be going out to Jerry. And then I have another super articulated, but with a flocked head.
Yep.
So these I got from Pat over at Elite Studios.
Very cool.
And then I have this bottle of tequila. Okay, that's it. I'm done.
Okay. All right, everybody, please welcome our guest, Brian Savage.
Hey, sorry I'm late. I'm Central Time. I didn't realize we were Eastern Time. Oops.
No, just in time, Brian.
Y'all know I still live in Fort Worth, right? I hadn't moved at all. Same place.
Welcome to the show.
Well, thank you. Thank you for having me. Yeah, everybody else went and got something, so I felt like I had to go get something too. So I sent you a picture of this. This is the original presentation model that Kurt Groen gave me from Hasbro of Tom Hanks.
That is
very cool.
So this is the hand sculpted model they used, to get the project approved, and of course the 5-panel box. There are actually a couple versions of this. The versions. I'll say why there's two versions. See that sticker right there?
Yeah.
So I had several of these, and some of them did not have this sticker on it, and other ones did. And
That's beautiful.
Very cool.
so and I don't know if y'all all know the story. The story of this. They had commissioned Hasbro to do this toy, and then they thought they were going to be up for, I guess they were up for an Academy Award, and they felt like that if they had a toy of him out there, that it would diminish his the voting, make him less serious for the Academy Award. So they pulled the product. To my understanding, they made something like 300 and something, 330 or something like that, and Tom Hanks gave them out at his 50th birthday party.
Wow.
And that's the only place they ever came out. That was it. So unless you knew somebody at Hasbro that gave you one, or you knew him personally, that's where they went.
Oh wow.
That's amazing.
But y'all know a lot more about the club mythos and things we used to make up than I even remember at this point.
He's been researching, Brian.
I would have to go back and reread the newsletters and the convention stuff again to go, oh yeah, we did make that. Sometimes people ask me a question and go like, I don't know, I don't remember. It's 25 years of making stuff and doing conventions. I don't even think, how do I flip it, Sean? Oh, sorry. Hang on.
You go to the.
There's a setting icon at the bottom.
Yeah, the gears.
Yeah, and then go to video and then hit mirror.
Ooh, it doesn't want to drop down. It just has video. Oh, there it is. Mirror is on. Turn it off.
Yeah, turn it the other direction.
Okay.
There you go.
Okay, now I saw the words backwards. I just didn't know if it was in mine. Yeah, there you go.
That works.
Better.
That's such
So
a nice
for you people that want to read it, don't read it backwards now. There you go. So anyhow. So yeah, I don't even know that I could name all the conventions in sequence anymore. Some of them I can. Most of them I can't. Yeah, I have to think about it a while. But it was a lot of stuff. We made over 500 limited edition GI Joes and over 150 limited Transformers. We did 34 international conventions, and we published over 450 issues of magazines.
Oh,
Wow.
And then we said, no mas, that's it, no more, we're done. Because it was just 2 conventions a year was just killing us, killing us. So, yes, Sean, Barry Kay has one. You wonder where he got it from? I think it's because I gave it to him.
You're too kind.
I see Sean's comment in there. So yeah, ask me what I can make up or tell you a story, or what do y'all want to know?
Well, we were talking to you behind the stage. How did you get involved? Creating the club, doing the whole thing. Can you walk through the process?
Yeah, it's just a personal ad, collector looking for other collectors, big hats not necessary. No, that's a joke. Okay. So it's a long story. I'll start at the very beginning. In the 60s, I told my mother we were not going to ever throw away any of my toys because I had read an article in a magazine of somebody that opened a vintage toy store in New York City. So I said, okay, we're not getting rid of any of my stuff anywhere. Now, unfortunately, we did get rid of boxes along the way, so that kind of was very sad later. When you keep your Fight for Survival in the bottom of the box, but the top got thrown away. Oopsie, wrong part. Okay, so anyhow, that's kind of where it all started. Is I started as a 3 3/4 inch collector. I'm 3 3/4, 12 inch collector. I originally met Eva Thompson before she had her first GI Joe show. I met Lila Ayala. She's the one that wrote the Carol Moody book. She lived in Fort Worth. Okay, so it was kind of weird that there was a lot of GI Joe historical activity here in the Texas, Dallas, Fort Worth area that these people just showed up. And so I was a collector. We moved to North Carolina. I was in the computer industry. One point, my company got bought out and I got laid off. And I said, I always wanted to work for myself. Well, I said that in a minute. I always wanted to work for myself. So what can I do? And does everybody hold up your hand if you remember the magazine Collectors United? The newspaper, anybody remember that? Okay, so back in the 80s and early 90s, there were 2 collecting things. One was called Collectors United. It was a doll magazine, and it was classified ads, but they were not classified. You had to read. It was 40 pages would come in the mail once a month. 40 pages of classified ads. So you had to read through that to find what you're looking for. So then there was Toy Shop. Everybody remembers Toy Shop?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah. So Toy Shop was kind of the high-end version of that. So when I got laid off, I said, you know what? There's nobody that's doing dolls and toys together. And originally, I threw trains in there, too, and found out that did not work because they were a very tight-knit group and only traded amongst the club members, okay? So then I started Master Collector. And so I actually wrote the software that we're able to process the classified ads. So we kept them in a database, and when it was time to do the ads, you'd push a button, it would put them in alphabetical order in categories. And then we spit it out and put it through Quark Express. If you remember that, it was a PageMaker competitor. And so I had to learn. I knew the computer stuff. I knew the software stuff. I didn't know the publishing part. So I had to learn the newspaper part. And then kind of the miracle thing is I made a trifold, I don't know where one is, a trifold mailer. And we bought all these mailing lists and sent it out about Master Collector was coming out, the only indexed doll and toy trading publication, blah, blah, blah. Sent it out, and we had, I think, 230 people subscribe sight unseen from that trifold mailer, okay? Wow. So that was just a, miracle of God that we started with that. And then the next step was I was looking for more subscribers, and I had run into Mr. DeSimone out in some shows, and I said, hey, how about, because he just, at that time, he wrote the newsletter, his newsletter, everything in it was himself, and he like hand wrote it and scrawled it, and it was kind of a huge mess if anybody ever saw any of the original ones of those. So I went to him and said, hey, why don't I put you on a monthly schedule and you do the newsletter and I'll do the distribution and the mailing. So he said, okay. So for 1 year, we did it together. And then we got to the convention on the Intrepid. And so that was where they announced at the dinner that they were no longer going to make 3 3/4 inch Joe. They were going to the 6 inch, my personal favorite name of it, Sergeant Savage. I mean, come on, who wouldn't like that? I mean, gosh. So that came out, and at that time, James said, I don't want to do this anymore. This is not my G.I. Joe, and I'm out. I said, okay, fine. So I took over the whole thing, and my talent has always been to find other people, like somebody like Barry Kay. I'll tell a story on him in a second. To help write things and do the newsletter part, because I have a fair amount of stuff, but most of I don't care that it's like, I'm not like Daryl, who, by the way, I saw today. Okay, he came by after a Star Wars convention on his way to the West Coast. I don't care that there's 5 of them and there's 3 blue ones and 2 red ones and whatever, and this one has this many regions. I don't care. I just want one of every, one of that thing, whatever the thing is. So I got other people to write for me, and so I started, just being the editor. And over the years how many different voices we had that wrote for the club newsletter. And so then I had met Karen Lehman and Kurt Groen at some shows, and we always hit it off and palled around together. And so I went to them. I said, hey, you do not have a G.I. Joe Collectors Club like there used to be. How about I do the G.I. Joe Collectors Club as a marketing arm of Hasbro, and I don't pay you and you don't pay me. And they said, okay. So that's how it kind of started. And then we said, hey, we want to make some figures, some things. So the first one was the B-17 pilot and the tank commander. So we licensed that from them. We had to pay them a small licensing fee. And then after the Chicago show, they were not happy with the Magic Mars people at all. They did not like them. You can talk to Kurt Groen about that in person. And they asked me, do you want to do the conventions? And I'm going like, well, I've been to conventions. I've traveled a lot. I know blah, blah, blah. So I taught myself. I put together a whole presentation for them about doing conventions and or how we would do it. Because the reason the people all failed before us was because they did it a la carte. You buy the dinner, you buy the T-shirt, you buy the package, you buy the fig. I said, no, we're going to be Club Med. So you pay one price. Yeah, I took all the prices, added them all up, and go, well, what was it, $300 for years? Okay, years and years. And so that was how we started, because you couldn't plan your convention hotel. They want the dinner. That's the main thing they want. They want the money from the food, okay? So I would finagle with them, how to cut the pie so that we could afford everything. But because we knew how many people were coming, we could plan, okay? Because I could say I have a dinner for 300 or whatever, okay? And so they would give us the space. So then that went on. Then another piece of it, you may or may not remember, at one point they came to me and they said, hey, can you do product fulfillment? Sure, why not? That was always my answers. Can you do that? Absolutely, we'll figure it out. So at one point, I grew up in a little town that's about 6 miles from where I live now called Azle, Texas, A-Z-L-E. And at one point, for 2 years, you would send in the back of the 3 3/4 inch printer, cut the flag points off, and send them into a post office box in Azle, Texas. And I think we fulfilled something like almost 20,000 storm shadows, from people mailing in points and stuff.
Yeah.
And in reality, they told me, we don't care if they send enough points or whatever. Just when they send it in, just send it out. Okay. So we just send them out and send them a bill every month, for what we sent out. And they sent us all the figures. And so, so we did that. And then they kept coming to me and they go, don't you want to do the Transformer conventions? Don't you want to do BotCon? No, I don't know much about it. I don't want to do it. Oh, come on. They make so much money, they pay us a licensing fee. Nope, don't want to do it. Then they kept coming back. And the funny thing is, over time, Daryl didn't work at Hasbro when I first started all this, okay? And I think I'm one of the ones that actually told him about the job opening on the team for Hasbro. Okay. And so over the years, Daryl ended up being Brian's handler. No matter what Hasbro needed, the phone call would come from Daryl. Okay. And then he calls and he goes, hey, we really need you to do the BotCon Transformers convention. Okay, all I know is Beast Wars. I've watched all of those. I know that part. I don't know the rest of it. Okay, when is the next one? I need to go see what it is, what they do, what they want, and how they're different from the Joe group. When is it? It's Friday. This was on a Tuesday. Oh, where is it? Oh, it's in Chicago. Oh, okay. Well, I guess you better get me an airline ticket and a hotel room. So they did. Went up there. They gave me some people like Pete Sinclair, if y'all knew him, that were like a little committee for us. Eventually we hired Pete, but they gave me guidance and kind of helped us, get started in a whole Transformers thing. So then so the other part of that was that I knew the Transformers people were very visual. And so we had to go to a color newsletter for them because they black and white was not going to cut it. So this is where the whole thing got really expensive, and was the turning point is I had to hire somebody to do it. Well, who is the perfect person? It was Lanny. So Lanny Latham, because he had all the color background, he had all the design background, he had everything. And you know what? He was willing to move to Fort Worth to take this was his dream job for this. So he was with us, I don't know, 12, 13, 14 years, something like that. But without Lanny, I could not have done all the things that we did, because just like you're going through. So the story on a lot of the figures, I would make some stuff up. Lanny would add to it. A lot of times I'd call Barry Kay, okay, and go, what do you think about this storyline, and can we do this? Or we'd call Todd Pleasant, or Pisani, and run this by him and go, all right, what do you think? Is this kosher? Is this going to work? Kind of thing. So, for example, one of the things that Hasbro took from us in the Transformer line is the shattered glass, okay? Did you ever see the shattered glass figures where the Autobots are bad and the Decepticons are good, okay? And we swapped all the colors. And I tried to do that with Joe, but Dave Lane, who also I could not have done this out with Dave Lane and Terry Wheeler, Dave always goes, the Joe people are not going to accept that. They're not going to. So that's why I kept trying to sneak them into the figure subscription service to see if we could warm up people to eventually do a convention set, where it was shattered glass, where the bad was, evil was good and good was evil. But we never got to that point. And on the 12-inch stuff, there was a point. Does everybody remember the Last Man Standing set?
Yes.
Okay, so that was actually an internal joke because at that point, that was the last 12-inch figure set.
Really?
And that's why I went all out and made the vehicle and all that. And we came back and we looked at it and go, it's not, if we still could make 200, that's still 80 to 90 people that are going to come to the conventions that wouldn't come otherwise because they're 12-inch collectors. We know and some of y'all that have been in the convention years, we had a big between the 12-inch collectors and the 3 3/4 inch. That kind of went round and round sometimes. So we had to kind of keep them separate but equal, but keep doing it. But so we were able to go like, you know what? We can afford to do 200. We'll just keep going and we'll keep making up club exclusives. And, you can see toward the end there from the story you told a little while ago, we kind of went off the rails for everybody. We were trying to weave both things together wherever we could weave them together. We were trying to take the entire mythos and make it one continuous story, which was kind of our goal.
I think you did a great job with the story.
Well, thanks. So that's my kind of long and convoluted story, but I'm going to tell a story on Barry Kay now. So the reason Barry and I met is because Barry wrote me a complaint letter. Yeah, he wrote a complaint letter complaining. I probably have it somewhere on here, but complaining about we were doing this, not doing that, or not paying attention to whatever. And I wrote him back and I said, basically, I said, would you like to be part of the solution or part of the problem? What do you want to be? And he said, I think I'd like to be part of the solution. So then we became friends after that. Awesome. And then he helped with many, many, many convention and club exclusives. But that's how we met. Is he wrote a complaint letter? So that's how it started.
I noticed his name in a lot of the mini comics.
Right. Yeah, he would help with the story. And then Todd was really, if I remember right, one of the biggest influences on the panels for the mini comics, giving us guidance on what should be on there and, making sure the storytelling was correct. And again, without Lanny, y'all would have none of this stuff, because Lanny loved and loves, this brand, and it's just part of his life. And, he would go home and be online doing marketing for us when, he didn't have to. He could just gone home and watch TV. But, he was 200% into it.
Wow. Well, you can definitely tell that.
Well, they say if you love your job, you work a day in life.
The
Right.
newsletter, you started the Chronicles, the Adventure Team Chronicles. How'd that come about?
I don't know. We were looking for filler, and so then, Todd's really the one that ran all that stuff.
The stories are great.
And then all of their photorealistic stories that they did too. I mean, you got to think about, y'all know how much work that is. That's just a ton of work, and they just did it because they love doing it.
Aesop.
Do I?
Aesop.
Oh.
Todd and Dave's Aesop stories.
Oh, yeah.
Regular Joes.
The regular Joes.
Yeah.
Yep, all that stuff. So, and everybody's always into these things because they love it, not because they, want something out of it. It's just what they like to do. It's just like why y'all are doing this right now.
That's right.
Keep the love of the hobby alive.
That's right. And so now, you see, I have a beard, which I haven't had in a long time because I just finished, hiking the Colorado Trail, which is over 450 miles from Denver to Durango with Maverick. If y'all remember my son Maverick, he's 23 right now. He just graduated from Colorado School of Mines, and he's going to graduate school in Australia. Cool. Now we seem to have an echo. I don't hear it.
No, it's
Y'all
not from you. It's from all
your
of us.
volume's too loud and it's backfeeding.
Oh, I'm talking too loud? That would be abnormal.
Well, I think what's happening is your speaker
Oh, yeah.
is coming in and it's backfeeding in.
It's coming backfeeding through your mic.
Let's see if we change to, hang on. Oh.
How about this? Is this any better?
Sounds good here.
Testing. Yeah, we're good.
Yeah.
It's
One,
good.
two, three.
We got
Okay,
it.
so
Right.
I switched to my phone mic.
There you go.
All right, so we talked about how you got into it, and so you got into the hobbies and you got into the conventions, which many of us went to.
Mm-hmm.
How did it all come to an end?
Well, the first thing that happened is Hasbro had decided that we didn't have enough people at the Transformers convention and then the Joe convention. Because what I'd done originally is I had the two contracts to where one ended this year and they were overlapped like this. And then eventually they took the two contracts and did this to me. So they could both end at the same time, which would have been bad. Okay. So at that point, they decided Transformers, they really, we weren't bringing enough people in because they were looking at Star Wars and going, why do they have 5,000-10,000 people and you have, 2,000 or 3,000? It's like, because it's a different brand, And hey, it's my job to put on a good show. I can't attract the world. If you don't have that many people interested in your brand, I can't do anything about that. Well, we consider ourselves as a fan maintenance organization, so that once you're involved in the brand, we kept you engaged. That's why the Collectors Club and the conventions went like this, because we would get you excited through the year, keep you interested with the Collectors Club, and then we would have the convention, and you'd surge, and then you'd go back down, but it would still, keep going with the club all year. Otherwise, if you just did the convention, it would have really had this big roller coaster effect on it. So they had canceled both contracts, okay? And Daryl went to bat for us, and this was before we were in Loveland. What was that, 2016? And Daryl went to bat for us and said, hey, Joe is totally different than Transformers, and it's a smaller group, and it needs this type of thing, blah, blah, blah. So he talked them back into renewing the convention for 2 more years. And so that's when we were very sneaky at Loveland. Were any of y'all there at that one?
No.
Colorado?
Sadly,
Okay.
no.
So what we did was I'd already gotten the hotel for 2017 back at Disney. I'd already made all the arrangements. We'd signed the contracts. Everybody came to the convention just going like, oh, it's the last one. We're going to all die, blah, blah, blah. And then, so we're in the middle of our panel on Saturday afternoon that we do. So this has gone on all weekend, and we've just been silent the whole time.
That's
So we
kind
go, well, I have something we're going to tell you is we've had our contract extended for 2 more years, and you thought the roof would blow off from the cheers, okay?
Yeah, I could imagine. Oh, you went silent.
Well, we lost you. We lost your voice.
How about now?
There we go.
Yeah, there you go. You're there.
Okay.
You're back.
No,
No, we
I
lost
lost
you again.
Lost you again. Yep. No, we lost you.
Uh-oh.
Nope.
No.
No.
Not yet.
I can see him. He's switching from his
I mean, you
MacBook.
did. How about now?
Yeah,
Gotcha.
yeah,
Gotcha.
there you go. There you go.
Okay, so we'll just go with that, and I'll try to talk quieter. So we did announce not only that we had 2 more years of conventions we could do, but we were going to Disney next year, and you thought the roof was going to blow off again,
Oh.
and so we went through and did the next 2 years, and then we just really decided as a family at that point, because our kids were older, and we decided it was too much for us. Because the part that y'all don't know is when we would do a convention, not only did we work our butts off before, but it wasn't next year. Yeah, it's not over for 2 more weeks, bud. Who do you think unloads all this stuff on the other end and puts it back and inventories it and all, and then we have to ship out all the non-attending stuff, and this is not done at all. And so at that point, we could have gone 2 more years, but that was a God thing, because if we had signed the contract for 2 more years, what will we have run into? COVID. So we were actually totally clean with the inventory, and employees were gone September before COVID, because the way I say it is, if we had continued on, I would have not been able to make toys in China for a convention I could not have.
Yeah.
And I mean, what a stress that would have been on all of us what would we do? Because we could pretty much do nothing.
Yeah.
So we just think it was a God thing that we were out, before then. And I know it made everybody sad. It's still sad. And then I've kind of stayed out of the whole thing for, the last, 6, 7, 8 years, 9 years, whatever it's been. Like I didn't even go to Greg Brown's show over in Dallas for 5 years. I just let it sit, because I didn't want to be somewhere and be the person people come up to and go, oh, blah, 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 this is going on. It's like, I'm out, because Greg does a great job over there. And I've gone back, for a few years now, and it's fun to go see people and talk to the Hasbro people, and everybody's still, the greatest group of people that you've ever met. And so what am I doing now? Well, right now I'm really stupid. So I retired, and instead of staying retired, I said, oh, I have a friend that I collect pinball machines too, okay? And so, yeah, we started a pinball machine company. So we have now shipped 4 titles. We have shipped Jim Henson's Labyrinth. We have shipped Legendary's Dune. We have shipped Winchester Mystery House, which a lot of y'all may not know. And then this last week, while I was out on the trail, we shipped Bon Jovi.
Cool.
Wow.
So,
Congrats.
so the company's, I know this is kind of weird, but the company's name is Barrels of Fun. Instead of Fun Publication, it's still fun. So now we have the running joke every day. Are we having fun? Yes, barrels of it.
So you manufacture the pinball machines?
Yes, we have a 33,000 foot facility factory in Houston. My friend David, who's Australian, lives in Houston with his family, and it's actually his company. I'm the minor partner. I'm the not so silent partner. I know y'all can't believe that. But so that's what we do right now. And so it's been a lot because it's way more complicated than anything we ever did in action figures. However, what I've learned is the people are basically pretty much the same. It's just a different product, that they love.
Enthusiasts.
Yeah, it's just, they're just a lot bigger and it's harder to buy two of them. You kind of know.
Are these full-scale pinball machines?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, look it up. It's barrelsoffun.com.
Okay.
So you can look that up and see.
Has the technology changed a lot compared to the
Yeah,
old
well,
pinball
so
machines?
now, in pinball machines, you basically have the old EM, which is 60s, 70s, ching-ching, bang-bang, reels going around. Then you had solid state, which had the little bitty numerical displays. And then it went to kind of modern, which is called DMD, or dot matrix displays, okay, which has a screen. And then from there, it's just become LEDs, LCDs. The screens got bigger. Ours actually, three of our machines have a secondary screen down on the playfield, like the Winchester Mystery House. It's a haunted house. It actually has, does anybody know what Pepper's Ghost is on an effect? Where you've got a mirror and you're seeing the ghost in the mirror. You're not actually seeing, but you can see through it. It's got an effect like that on the machine. So they all have different extra monitors, and so the technology now is like where you used to have bulbs, you have big LED boards. It's all surface mounted technology. So if you look under a machine, it's all one big board instead of a whole bunch of little big light bulbs and 5 miles of wire, under there. So in some ways it's simpler, in other ways it's more complex because now you have to have a lot more video assets that you never had to have before. You just had to have mechanical magic, and now you got to have both, which is tough because it takes a long time and it's very expensive to get some of the video assets approved from the licensor. Because some of them just are really persnickety and really expensive because you have got a lot of hands out that want to be paid, on all this licensing stuff. So, but that's what I'm up to now.
What's the average price for one of the pinball machines?
A little bit more than an action figure. The Bon Jovi is $12,000.
Wow.
And they're limited to 700 is all we're making.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Do you have any different ones in the pipeline? Any different licenses?
Yes, we do. I can't tell you what they are, though, but we do.
Okay, all right.
We have probably 5 years worth of licenses already signed.
Oh, nice.
And how are you doing on this?
Say it again.
How you doing on this?
We're doing okay. This is just really super expensive and takes a while to. So the stupid part is I had a high margin, low dollar business. I traded for a low margin, high dollar business. It's kind of dumb business wise, So,
But if you're enjoying yourself.
Yes, it is what it is. Well, I'm working too much. I'd like to work less. That's kind of the goal.
You had that option.
Yes, I know, but like I said, you missed the part where I said I'm stupid, right?
No, I got it. I understand it a lot better than you think.
Okay.
Can I go back to the question? Sean Huckster is asking about the super articulated figure.
Yes.
So the best that I know on the super articulated figure, one of the mistakes that Hasbro, so I am the only person who's ever been allowed to use Hasbro's tools in China, okay, or their molds. We call them tools, okay? Nobody else. There was a point in time where I knew more about where their tools were than they did, okay? So along the way, everybody remember when they did the Men in Black figures?
Yeah.
Okay, so they used the G.I. Joe body, changed the heads. But the mistake they made was that somebody relabeled the tools Men in Black. So somebody in accounting said, oh, you know what? We're never going to make those again. Scrap them.
Oh,
So they scrapped 2 factories worth of tools
Wow.
of the 12-inch body. However, I happen to know there was a 3rd set of tools at a different factory. So I email Hasbro and go, hey, there's another set over here. And they go, oh, well, thank you very much. And they brought those back in and continued to use them. We used them, till the end of the line. And after that, I don't know, but I can just tell you with the current management that's there, they don't want to store anything. Like all of the 3 3/4-inch vehicles used to be in the Broad Street warehouse in Rhode Island, in Pawtucket, okay, which they weren't really hurting anybody there. And somebody in accounting decided that they needed to salvage, get money, get them out of storage, whatever. So they sold them all off for scrap. And we didn't even know. We were planning on using, there was an oil, I can't remember what the real name was. It was the oil derrick. There was a platform that was an oil, like a ocean platform. I don't remember the original name.
Oh, from the recorder?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. What the hell is that called?
Yeah, I can't remember what it's called now. Anyway, that whole thing was there, a couple with some other jets and other aircraft, and we were going to use those because I had come up with an idea. We were going to create a whole new 3 3/4-inch faction called the Owls, and it was the Oil Warfare Legion. Okay, and what do owls eat? Snakes, cobra. So we were going to have a war between this new group who had an oil platform because they were drilling for oil and cobra. But we never got to do it because they scrapped all the tools.
Oh, that's horrible.
Yeah, oopsie. So it's like, okay, what are we going to make up today? And this was part of the problem with the 3 3/4-inch stuff and continuing. We'd already done, Hasbro did all the major topics. In other words, if you think about, each figure was a chapter heading or, a chapter like Duke, Snake Eyes, Storm Shadow, blah, blah, blah. And then we're coming in here with Crystal Ball and, all the esoteric figures that they would have never made, at retail. Most of the stuff, a lot of stuff that we did. And one of the things that was happening, this is why we came up with another team to bring in, is because we're running out of stuff. We're running out of ideas. Okay, because we've recycled, almost everybody we could recycle at some point, and so it's like we were getting really close because by the time you look at, again, I remember I said we did 500 different figures, okay? So when you start going like, well, who do we got left? Virtually no one, okay, very few left, to make. And so that's why we also said, it's about time to be done. Because we've ran the course of everything we could pretty much make. That's a mobile battle platform. That's what it was. Yeah. So that was kind of another thing because we're just running out. Like I said, as you could see in the 12-inch stuff, how we're trying to weave all the mythos together. Like we're running out of storylines. Okay, we're just making stuff up. And I think personally, that's the problem with, the continuation of Joe over the years is we've just not seen any new groups. That's what made it so great in the 80s is, you got Tiger Force one year, you got, who else? The
Pythons?
Yeah, but the, not DEA, but the drug. Which one? What's it called? I can't remember now. But, they would change the groups every year and come up with some new, group that the kids had to buy. Because you didn't have, even if they recycled the figures, but they'd be in a new, in a new uniform then. So this is where I think they've just recycled a lot of stuff because everybody, it's like movies today. Everybody wants to make a live version of some cartoon.
Right.
It's like, why don't you write something new? Because they're just running out of ideas.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, so Brian, I have a question for you. Out of
Sure.
my two favorite Collectors Club edition figures that you guys sold. One is Dr. Isotope. Can you tell us the story behind that and the glow in the dark part and all that?
Well,
the other is the Man of Asia.
mhm.
Now, I noticed that they have flocking on the
Right.
But everyone that I've removed the flocking that has come off, and I've completely cleaned it off, all have like an indentation in the back of the head, like a hole almost. Is it because they were damaged? Is that why they got flocked?
No, I don't know. It just may be a mold mark. I'd have to see one to look at it. I don't know. I kind of got off on this whole glow in the dark jag for a while. It's like, well, let's make a figure that glows in the dark. Okay, what are we going to call him? I don't remember who coined the name. On that, I don't remember at all. But like I said, I don't remember the whole story, how we came up with that. It's just a lot of this was just piece by piece by piece. You start with a basic story and everybody talk about it and we go, well, what about this? Or what about that? What about this? Okay. Until finally we cobble something together. And then on the 12-inch stuff, we were also limited because they were constantly trying to clean up all the classic collection parts. Okay. And so we kept having a smaller and smaller pool of things that we could use again that we didn't have to tool, because the main thing is when Hasbro tooled stuff, they tooled it in steel. Okay.
Oh.
We used what's called CEBU, or copper beryllium, that is a lower cost product because you don't have to run 100,000 impressions on it. Yeah, it'd probably go 30 or 40,000 impressions, and then it's going to lose detail. But their tooling stuff was very expensive. And we tooled some stuff over the years. We just tried to keep it down and not have to, not tool a whole big set of stuff where there was a weapon we had to retool. And heads were not expensive at all because for the 3 3/4 inch, because the heads were done. The 3 3/4 was done at a different factory that did our 12-inch cut and sew stuff. So we kind of had to have different pieces come from everywhere. And it's kind of funny is the people that made the 12-inch stuff for us in China, or ran the stuff in China, I still use them today to help make pinball stuff.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So I'm the one that makes on a pinball machine, if it's on the playfield and molded, it's considered a toy. So I'm the guy that runs all the toys in China because I knew who to call, I knew what to do, I know the tools, all that kind of stuff. So Dr. Isotope, I don't remember exactly, but except for, hey, we can make a figure that glows in the dark. Let's do that.
I remember watching Sven Gooley, and there he was.
There you go. There you go. Because I think, didn't the Mummies case that we redid, didn't that glows in the dark too? I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure it's GID too. Yeah. And that was the thing that kind of got out of control. All the crap that got put into that, it got out of control. Yeah, but and then the other one that you look at it is, anybody looked at Secret Mission to Spy Island? Have you actually pulled that set out and looked at all the pieces in that set? Yeah. You look at that thing and you go, holy cow. Look at all the crap we repurposed and used and made up and whatever. If you think about the Adventure Team days, Hasbro didn't even make anything that was even close to that with the amount of stuff that it came with.
Yep. Yeah. Sandstorm Survival would have been the closest.
Yeah.
But aside from that, that's like one of the best sets.
Yeah, I think so too. I mean, for that, just for the volume of stuff, it's like I said, you look at it. Yeah, because that shark came out of the Sigma 6 tools.
Yeah.
Why were the mechanisms so delicate? I think that technology is just hard. When you have the pull string, that's why we eventually took the pull string out of the figures, because it broke all the time. And it broke on vintage ones too, but I think their molding and things they did back then were more robust mechanically. If you look back at toys, and this is interesting, so I pulled out a lot of my childhood toys and have started putting them into display cases. I've still got a long way to go. But when I start going, it's like I have the Mattel injectors. Anybody remember that? Anybody old enough for that? The Shrinky Dink, the Monster. What was it? the Monster Maker. I had many toys that all dealt with doing what? Making toys. And then what did I end up doing in my life? Making toys. So it's kind of weird when you look at the toys back in the 60s and 70s, more in the 60s, all the toys were more, about a career, some skill, some career, some trade, something like that. So they all had something, whether it's a Rector sets or, your built engineer or whatever. So they were all kind of that way. And like Daryl brought me something today I've never seen from, it's in the other room. It was made by Kenner. And it actually, I think, predates all these other toy molding things. And it's really super intricate on making your own toys. But I think it was so intricate that it didn't catch on as kids, for kids, because it's too hard. It's way too hard. The Patel injector stuff was just like, squirt it in there. Oh, look, half his leg's missing. Or I got half a car body or whatever. It's like, oh, well, melt it down, do it again, whatever. They weren't very finely built. But I think the mechanical engineering they had back then was just way more robust than what we have today. And
The safety rules.
Sean that asked about the
shark.
The shark. The shark was in the Sigma 6 tooling stuff. And then we saw that and go like, oh, that's a good idea. We'll have a robot shark. So, because he's close enough to the right scale. So that's where that came from. So it's we just tried to look at the stuff and go, what can we make? And then at the end, we had a lot of pieces and parts. And Laney was the one. We had all those kind of bag. If you think of it, it's kind of like our version of Pawtucket Toys, right? So we're just taking stuff and, well, we got 30 of these and 40 of these and 60 of these. What can we make out of that? Thanks, Sean. And so Laney was the one that was in charge of figuring out, what can we build out of this or get clothes made to make it work. So Andy, I don't know. Hasbro technically owns everything that we ever did. Because that's part of being a licensee is they own everything. But the main thing is for most toy companies, they don't even know what they own. They haven't put a trademark on it in years, which is why you kept seeing the Adventure Team trademarks show up and stuff, because they were trying to keep it alive. So, because you have to refresh this stuff every few years, or you lose the trademark on it. Doesn't mean you lose the copyright, but you lose the trademark.
So I want to go back to the shark for a second. That was part of the Action Man line, correct? That there would be
it was Sigma 6. Pull it out. Pull the shark out. Do you have, or can you show that?
I don't have one. But my question is,
here we go.
So they actually made the set. They made the mold, the tools for it all. They never used it.
Yeah, but we saw it at Toy Fair. Yeah. And then we redecoed it, because he didn't. When we first saw him, he didn't have all the rivets and all that stuff. And
of course, we had sad that shark was never used again in anything else.
Yeah. Well, there was several stuff like that. There were, they also had. We could have gone the direction of the pygmy whatever, okay? Because they had a bunch of diminutive figures they made or animals they made. Well, thank you, Sean. But that was the other thing we looked at is how many different miniature or pygmy things can we pull out to keep going with that same idea.
So Brian, I want to ask something because you kind of commented on something that I was going to ask. So what was your childhood like? What was your favorite toys? What did you play with?
Well, I had 12-inch G.I. Joe since I was born in '62, so a little bit late to the party on the military stuff. Yeah. I probably only had like 4 G.I. Joes. My favorite set that I had as a child was the Fight for Survival. Because we used to go up to Colorado, and I love the whole idea of the dog sled team and that type of thing. Actually, I don't have it down here; it's upstairs. I have a one-up of the dog sled dog, which is this big. Okay, he's about 1/6 scale size. Okay, I mean he's bigger. He's twice the size of 1/6 scale, but it's pretty cool. That was one of the first things we tooled on that. But that was my favorite set as a child, and probably. Did anybody have a toy called Johnny Astro?
Yeah, I had him.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
So Johnny Astro, for those that don't know, was a fan, and then you had a control stick here, and you would drive it around the fan, and it came with balloons and little plastic legs you would tape on the balloons and a landing pad, and you were supposed to take that fan and fly that balloon up and move it around and then fly it back and put it back on the landing pad. They actually made, which I found later collecting stuff, they had some moonscapes. I had a Mars and a moon and something else that they made for that I never saw as a kid. And there was also a version that was a flashlight version. So it's just a fan on the end of a flashlight. I guess you could walk around your house, and fly your balloon. So we spent hours and hours and hours flying that silly thing around. G.I. Joes got taken out in the backyard. And so none of my G.I. Joes were very pristine at all because they were too played with. One of the things that I have a vivid memory, we had a White's Auto. I lived in a little bitty town. We were 16 miles from Fort Worth. There was a 5 and dime that had, one little toy aisle, and there'd be some G.I. Joes there. And then White's would have toys from time to time. But I think I was like 12 or 13, and I went in the White's Auto, and they had a couple of boxed figures, original 12-inch military. I don't remember which ones. I think a soldier and something else. But they also had a Mattel Daredevil stunt plane. Did anybody ever see that? Okay. Well, we beat the hell out of that thing till there was nothing left. Just keep crashing it. So if you remember the Whirlybird, everybody remember the Whirlybird helicopters?
Yeah, Vertibird.
Okay, Vertibird, not Whirlybird, Vertibird. But the Daredevil stunt plane was like a biplane version of that, and it went really fast. And around, you could just smack that thing into the ground. So instead of buying the 2 G.I. Joes, I put the Daredevil stunt plane on layaway. It was $15 back then.
Oh, wow.
And I paid it out, over 2 or 3 months. And now I wish I had bought that G.I. Joe's.
Right.
But who knew? So we had. So the other thing is I have a fair number of Major Matt Mason. Okay, Major Matt Mason was one of my favorite toys too, because that was the middle of the space race. Right? I remember sitting at 69 in front of a TV. I'm 7 years old watching us land on the moon. So that was a huge toy then. And I know everybody, there's a very active Major Matt Mason group that does some wonderful pictures and stuff on Facebook if you've ever seen it.
Oh yeah.
And then there's the other favorite ones I had that I bought some Zeroids, the robots.
Oh,
and
yeah.
So we were at a
Yeah.
convention, and I'm walking around before the convention, and one dealer had 3 Zeroids in the shipping box.
No.
My basic question was, how much you want for them? I'll be right back. And then Daryl tells me, because he's seen them, he goes like, man, you beat me to those. Yes. Okay. Beat Daryl to something. Since he has everything else in the world, I beat him to something. So, but anyway, so that was, and then I did some model railroading. I also have I have a theory that most 12-inch collectors at one point, well, thank you, Ashby. I have a theory that at one point, almost all 12-inch collectors were HO model railroaders because of the scenery, the diorama stuff. So I don't know if that's true, if any of y'all ever did that or not, but
Not for me. I went the other way with Hot Wheels.
oh, okay.
Well, that's how I got into it. I was a model railroader, and I built all dioramas, and then because I got involved with Tom Calhoun.
Right.
So and then doing stuff with Adventure Gear, I started building the sets to promote all this stuff and photographing all the pictures for his website and such. So that's how I initially got into it all. But they don't start coming back out of model railroading.
Yep. So it's all the diorama, because that's, if you don't know much about trains, the O-gauge people are all about the train, okay, and bigger. They just want the train. They don't care what the scenery. The HO people are all about the scenery, in the town and the scene and all that. What can I build? The world, which is I think very true too of the 12-inch and 3 3/4 inch. Figure people one is all about the vehicles and the figures, and we're all about the scene and the diorama and the playing in the backyard kind of thing.
Exactly.
Yeah, I think, is he the one that's made the somebody? Yeah, he made the season. He put the sled on Captain Laser, didn't he? On eBay. I think I saw that the other day. I think he's got a Captain Laser on a 1/6 scale Major Matt Mason space sled.
He might.
And I asked him, I said, I would buy that if you will make the little clear stand like the other guy that I bought some. You can put the space sleds. It's clear, and it's got a moon base, and it's got clear pegs, so it looks like he's floating. I don't have it here. I'd show you a picture. But it's pretty cool. It's a pretty cool stand. Pretty cool way to display the figures.
No kidding.
Nice.
What other questions? What else can I tell a lie about? So the Space-O-Matic, I see, that was brought up. You saw in the pictures that I sent, Charlotte, Mr. Beckman made me the Space-O-Matic because I finally figured out where it came from. So Hasbro had a robot that they made, Mr. Amaze-O-Matic, okay, which is a very rare robot, and I saw it in the archive building one time, and I go, so that's where the whole base and tread came from. So Scott made me he took the pictures and stuff, and actually I sent him, because I bought a couple of different auctions, because it's so rare nobody even buys it when they see it, okay, so I sent him the base, and he built the whole Amaze-O-Matic chair and all that for me. He modeled it up for me. And what a guy in the hobby. What a guy. Mr. Beckman.
So it's a working one?
Yeah, oh yeah. Yeah, if you put the cards in, it'll go around. Absolutely. Because that's the piece you don't have, is you don't have the base. The rest of it you can build, but the whole base is, I can run get it if you want me to run get it.
That'd be really cool.
You want to see it? All right, don't go away. Be right back.
This ought to be cool. I only saw it over on the commercial that they made, the promo.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Jim Egner makes a nice one. It's not doesn't work,
but it's static. That's the only bad thing. But
Yeah, there's a lot of bad.
Ernie, you're young.
all right, to see somebody say something besides me.
Why? You don't say enough.
Here it comes.
I know. Okay, I'm gonna unmute him again. That's what it is.
Okay, so I have to be kind of careful with it because some of it's the glue's not. Let's see.
That's huge.
Oh yeah, of course it's huge because it's 1/6 scale.
That's amazing.
It doesn't look so big in the end.
So Scott made all this for me. See if I can take. So this part would come off. Take the chair off. Okay, so this is actually the piece.
Oh wow.
Wow.
So this is called Mr. Amaze-O-Matic. And I bring the box down, but it's way up high on the shelf. I can't really get to it where it is.
Yeah, that's okay.
But you can see all the gears.
Yeah.
Cool.
And then these had cards. On this one, I can't remember, but the cars, did anybody ever have the Amaze-O-Matic cars?
No.
Okay, well, they're
not Mason.
Yeah, well, the Amaze-O-Matic cars, so what you did is there's a hole here, and so there was a card, be much like, a piece of paper like that, that would slide into, it was an actual punch card kind of thing, but it had grooves on the outside. So there's a little pin in here that it would follow, and the cars would do this too. It would turn the wheels as it hit that pin going around the cold card until it got to the end, and then it would stop.
Pre-designed.
It was pre-designed, formations or patterns it would make. And so there's like 5 different of the cars. I have them all. They're down in another place. And then I have 2 of the Amazomatic robots too. And then I have this one I got too, and sent it to Scott, and then he built all this for me. So I would have the only one in the world, but I'm sure other people paid one too.
Does your ring at the bottom have the magnet to pick up stuff too?
Yeah, it does. It has. Well, I think that's it right there.
No.
Can't remember.
It should be the round white part at the very front.
Oh, this. Sorry. Yeah, that's not a magnet. That's all fake.
Oh, okay.
So we just painted it. It's not a magnet, and it just kind of loops on there because we don't really know exactly how it went on there anyway. And it's kind of heavy because it's all board. It's not plastic, so it's all made out of board.
Okay.
That's very cool.
That is very nice.
So yeah, that's a really cool thing.
Yeah.
So one of the other sets I made, I don't know if y'all remember the Unsung Heroes. So that was a World War II medic and a Marine corpsman.
Oh,
okay.
Is that a concept?
Yes.
Okay.
And that was that was like the 4th year, 5th year, somewhere in there. But that was another insane set because my dad was a World War II corpsman, okay? And his story was he went into the Navy because he didn't want to get in the mud. And they found out that he had Boy Scout first aid training. So they said, well, you're going to be a medic. And, oh, by the way, we've decided that we're sending you over to the Marines because you can be one of their medics, be a corpsman. So he ended up in the mud. And the only reason we ran one of his stories in the really early. I used to put in actual real stories in the newsletter, but his story was he said I survived. There were 60 people in my unit. There were 49 killed and 10 wounded in him.
Oh wow!
And the only reason he wasn't killed or wounded is because his commanding officer was out souvenir hunting and got shot by a Japanese sniper. And my dad was the only other one that knew how to do the lab work back in the hospital. So they moved him back to the hospital. I say hospital, 200 yards off the front line. Okay. And that's what he did the rest of the war was do the lab work. So that's what saved him. And then he came home, went to TCU and medical school and became a doctor, all because he had a first aid merit badge.
Wow. Great story.
Yeah, so in that set, I actually went to the Army quartermaster and got all the drawings and all the things that corpsmen were issued. So if you've ever opened that set at all and look at all the little things that are in there, everything in there is either what they said they were issued or what my dad said they used. Okay, but it's all got printing on it, bandages. It's just insane the amount of stuff, the detail I went to make sure it was right for him.
That's so cool.
Yes, and I made the giant medic tent too. And that's funny because when I was growing up, I used to go to a church camp and they used circus tents, for us to sleep under and stuff. So when we were teenagers, we would go out and pitch the tents. And so many tents that you look at are wrong, in scale or whatever. So if you look at every tent that I've made, it's actually like a real tent. Okay. Yeah. Including the one we made for the adventure team and that hospital tent, that's just modeled after a circus tent is how they actually would have done it.
That's cool.
So we did, we made up a lot of stuff. We did a lot of research. I still have, which I probably need to get rid of. I bet I have 30 or 40 different books on uniforms and period and soldiers and all that stuff. Like I would go to the reseller bookstores called Half Price Books here in town, and I would buy every book they ever had, about anything we might make.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so I just have books and books and books and books of uniform stuff.
Yeah.
Still up in the attic right now. So what, any other questions or? Let's see, we figured out how we started, we figured out how we end, and then everybody kind of knows Yeah, it is an adventure setting that tent up. But here's the trick is you have to drive all the nails into the wood first. And it's half the distance of the tent pole out is where you put the nail. So if you lay it down and put the tent pole there, half the distance is where you put the nail. And then when you tie the strings, it'll all come up right. There actually were instructions for that, I think, in it that described all that.
Nobody.
No, I know. If it's not in bullet form, they don't know. Or someone didn't tweet it, no one knows. Or Instagram it or whatever.
There's not a video.
But yeah, so y'all kind of know how it started now and kind of know how it ended. And most of you know a lot of the story in between. So the other interesting statistic was between the two clubs, the most they ever got up to was somewhere around 2,800 people. I don't think we ever cracked any higher than that. And that was always kind of a marketing mystery of why won't they get any bigger, than this point. And it's just, I guess, a function of the age of people, how many there were, is some statistic out there, but both clubs never got really any more much different than the other one. And they never got past that number, no matter what we did. Didn't matter.
Which was better, the Transformers or the Joes?
Well, they were the same but different. The first thing that was interesting on the Transformers is when we did the first show, we did it in Frisco at the same Embassy Suites we had a Joe convention at. I was the second event in that convention hall with the Transformers. The bad thing on that convention was remember the little hurricane we had down in New Orleans?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Katrina. And then there was another one that came in like 2 weeks later, and USA Today had like this giant bullseye painted on Dallas-Fort Worth area. And because of that and Katrina, Hasbro pulled all of the press release information for that Transformers convention.
Oh, wow.
So it just wiped us out because they just said we can't publicize this right now with everything that's going on. So it's like, oh, okay. But the funny thing at that convention was we went to it, we had it. It wasn't much different than what we do for you guys. It did for you guys. We figured out that they're basically the same, except for you have to do this thing and then that thing and this thing. Couple of minor differences and stuff. But I would walk by a group of people that'd be talking, and I would walk by. It's like I was the principal. All of a sudden, nobody's talking. Hey, thanks for coming. Glad to see all y'all. Glad you're here. And then I'd walk on. But then what was funny later is they figured out we didn't know what we were doing, and we did stuff that they wanted us to do, and so those guys volunteered more than you could even begin to imagine. I mean, once you were in with that group, you were in. I mean, and they just loved you to death, So that was an interesting difference between the first ones. But after that, they kind of just become the same thing because everybody likes the same type of stuff. It's just a different toy,
right?
Yeah. And so we did, kind of the same thing for everything. And that's what it's the Transformers needing the color that brought the color into the Joe magazine. Because that was a huge expense. And bringing Lanny was the huge expense at that time. I'm going, oh my gosh, I'm going to hire a real employee with tons of experience and stuff. And so, but it was just but we had to have someone of his caliber to make it look like it did, because y'all just don't know the magic that man can work, on stuff, and everything y'all saw pre-production was all a Photoshop mock-up. There was never a single real picture in all of that.
Oh my God.
Yeah, that's what I always said. Early on, Lanny was a politician's worst nightmare because he could put you in any scene, anywhere, and you can't tell the difference. He was early AI. He just didn't know it.
I have a question, Brian.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm assuming your favorite vintage 60 style convention set would have been Medic set, right?
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I hadn't really thought about which one. I mean, it's one of my favorites because it honored my dad.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
What would be your favorite adventure team style set.
Well, of course, like I said, I have a love for Fight for Survival.
Yeah.
Okay. For that, and so that bear, the story on that bear, and this was kind of weird in the news at the same time. So we took their grizzly bear and made it a polar bear. Okay.
Yeah.
Or actually, at the same time, they found that a grizzly and polar bear had mated, so they were calling them growler bears. Do you remember that?
Yep.
Came out almost exactly at the same time. And so we're like, wow, look at us. We're ahead of the curve, aren't we? So you're looking at, how can you remake something in the same image but amp it up or make it better or just as much fun or more fun than what it was. So I don't know. There's a story which I won't remember, but behind a lot of the sets, again, the last man standing, that was a joke.
Yeah.
He was supposed to be the last convention figure.
Yeah.
So, but we changed our mind, and kept making stuff after that. So I don't know. I don't know that.
They were all great sets.
We really did take, input from different people. I think it was Steve Carlton that said, hey, you need to do Tarawa, the whole Tarawa thing because of the anniversary and blah, blah, blah. It's like, because I'd never heard of that. But Lord, after doing G.I. Joe, I knew more weapons and more battles and more stuff than, things I had never planned to learn ever in my life. Okay.
I get that.
Oh, yeah. That gun, that's a M40 or whatever, that doesn't belong in a tank. Oh, yeah, we still carry them in the tank. Because the other thing in the military you got to remember, too, is like when we did the tank commander, we talked to a real Abrams tank driver. And we asked them, what do they use? Well, they still carried those grease gun machine guns in the tanks, even though those were years ago. Okay. And they didn't wear the stuff they gave them for the tank. They wore a helicopter vest instead because they had all kinds of pockets they could put stuff in. So you have what they were issued and then you have what they really used, in the military stuff. And so, but over the whole course of everything, remember, I started as a 12-inch collector, okay, 12-inch military collector. And when we first started, the club was probably 85% 12-inch people. When we finished, it was 85% 3 3/4 inch. Wow. So the thing we had to do over the years was change with the market.
Well, yeah, it makes sense.
Where do you think the hobby is today?
Well, the problem with the hobby today is that so much of it is almost what we call it's a dead hobby, because there's not, and I hate to say that, but there's not a lot of new people coming in at this point. Look at the screen here. Do we all look like we're any teenagers in here? Or, I know Dan does, but never mind. I know there's at least one. So. But yeah, so that's the problem, is that it's not a dead hobby, but a dead collectible, because there's hardly anybody new coming in. And an example of that is cast iron toys. Okay, so how many people collect cast iron toys today? Nobody. Why? Nobody had them. They don't mean anything to anybody. So the problem we've had with the modernization of G.I. Joe over time was that they stopped doing the razor and razor blade. The razor and razor blade was the key to the whole thing. And you say, why? So how many people have kids that have Legos? Okay. So they build a Lego, and what do they say? Hey, Mom, look at what I built. Look at my Lego here. Okay. Same thing with action figures. I was in a store 1,000 years ago and listening to Mom and kids talking, and they were looking at a G.I. Joe in the box with all the, again, everything's on the toy already, ready to go. He goes, I don't know what I do with that. What do I do with that? So it's not intuitive when you have the blank figure and the accessory card. I should put stuff on there. Yeah. Did I do a state trooper? I did not. We did one. I don't remember where it was. there was a state trooper that Mars did. I think it was a Pennsylvania state trooper in whatever that was, 90, 94, 90, 95, 96, I think, 94, 95, 96, something like that. So the problem with the toys is they don't know intuitively what to do. When the toy already lights up and talks and does all these things and walks and talks and spits and burps and whatever, I don't use my imagination. So the thing that made it great, I just heard a story today on NPR talking to, or was it NPR? No, it was, I think Becky was, no, it was Dateline or one of those 60 Minutes. One of them, they were talking to people that are running an orphanage in Haiti, okay? And they do not allow any electronics, anything in their facility. And they have armed guards. You have 26 armed guards around this facility, and they take kids in and teach them and train them and then hope to send them to the United States for college and all that stuff. But the comment, this gentleman who's American, who's running the thing, I don't remember the names. I didn't hear the names. I just was over listening to it, overhearing it. But he was talking about these kids seem to have a lot more imagination than the kids that he would run into in the U.S. Because when we're all doing this and this thing does everything that I want it to do, what do I have to think? I don't have to think. Whereas when you go out and play with the G.I. Joe in the backyard, you got to have the battle between the two figures, and you got to dig the fort, and you got to do whatever, and what's going on here, and the Jeep drives through and blows up, and so that's the problem with people coming into the hobby is they don't have the emotional attachment to the figures that we have. So y'all do know that we did say this at conventions. I don't know that anybody's picked one yet, but we're all supposed to pick the same retirement home and bring all your toys, because when the last guy's alive, he will have all the toys, okay?
You guys, the most toys wins.
Yeah, one guy, he'll have them all. So we don't know who it is yet, but anyway. So, but on the other hand, you also see a lot of high end in the 1/6 scale stuff. You still see a very large number of high end figures. Like you've got your Star Trek figures. Somebody's behind. I could see him a while ago.
I have some.
Yeah, the Exo. What is it? Exo 6.
Exo 6.
Exo 6. Yeah, Exo 6. And I have some of those too. I've tried to, wean myself off of buying. I just wish could you make one year, make one group and finish it. Stop making one from this show and one from that show and one from this. I hate it.
That's been my complaint all along with it, and why I don't collect them.
Yeah.
Because when it comes to Star Trek, which I'm a huge Star Trek fan.
Yeah.
And to me, you have to do the original series and complete it first before you can move on. The problem with all these toy companies, they never complete the full crew. Now, Artist Island did do that.
Right.
With their 7-inch figures. But I mean, talking to him with Extra 6, because I do talk to him, and he's marketing to what people will buy.
Yeah. Well, he's trying to spread it out to keep people, but it turns some of us off, but other ones it gets them in because it's a different show. So
now he did show on was it Comic-Con? He had he actually had a bridge set.
Yeah,
and
but they're not all made.
All the final characters in the original crew.
So I have a question. Is the Artist Asylum guy, is his name Digger? Was that the designer's name? I just wondered, because we ran into a guy at Toy Fair many years ago. I'm thinking that's his company, but I can't remember. So
this was like his Diamond Select, and then Artist Asylum taking over. Yeah, it was like that. I mean, I've got the whole Star Trek thing. Like I said, I'm a big Star Trek fan. I'm the guy who built the 1/6 bridge years ago. But
you saved the Galileo.
I never bought them because I got into Extra 6 because I just until you come up with the full crew, and I could see him. He made like the trio, and then I started seeing Next Generation, and I started seeing DS9, and I was like, okay, this is going to be one of those. I will have collected most of the crew, and then I'll have a massive heart attack and die, and never have the entire crew.
Never have all of them. Yes, I get it. I get it.
And it's to me,
So
it's like,
did you
why
help-
invest the time and money into something that I will never complete?
So did you help save the Galileo for the museum in New York?
I did. Yes, I did. I did donate. Yes.
Well, I did whatever. I did whatever Barry did.
Yeah. Hey,
I said, what did
built
Barry
one.
K do? Okay, I'll do that.
I built the 1/6 scale one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Well,
like
that must
3
be
feet long.
huge.
Yeah, completely lit and everything. So yeah.
Wow, I've never seen that.
Yeah,
That's cool.
Deering Studio and Scrappy.
Yep. So in the hobby, I mean, there's still lots of very expensive figures being made. And then it's the same thing with the pinball. You know, y'all have the problem in your house is my house is full, where do I put them? You know, kind of thing. Yeah, I still have, 2,000 square feet in the warehouse that's still got all full of stuff. Now we got rid of most everything, and it's like I have the prototype train that Greg made, that I got years and years ago, and it's stuff like that. It's like, why am I keeping this? I need to sell this to somebody else, because like they need to have more enjoyment than it just sitting in a case at my house, kind of thing. Because that's a one of a kind. It's just like the Tom Hanks. It's a one of a kind, kind of thing. Now I wouldn't sell this, but the train things. It's stuff like that. It's like it's time to, it's time to move some of the stuff on. But I don't know who you sell it to. Daryl said he had a pretty good auction, at Heritage. It went pretty well for him, so, but that was all his 3 3/4 inch O-ring stuff.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Well, Brian,
I have another question, Brian.
close to the
Oh,
2
another
hour
question.
mark.
Yeah.
So we're gonna have to see if we can come back on again.
Sure.
Next year maybe we can come back on again, and we'll try and get this sound thing figured out here for you.
Okay.
We want to see your collection.
Well,
So,
it's not in very good shape right now. The room is a mess. We're remodeling the house, and there's stuff everywhere right now.
Well,
So
we're giving you enough time to set it up.
now, have y'all come down to Greg's show here in Dallas?
I have.
Okay.
Yeah.
So he's doing a good job. It's not a very good show, very big show, but it's a really nice show.
I liked it. I had a lot of fun.
And I still want to go see Stovall, up in Louisville, but I haven't made that one yet. But I heard we're supposed to stay out of there in the winter.
Yeah. You want to go during the summertime. That's for sure.
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks for having me.
Yeah. What we do is we have Ernie come in now and ask you a few questions.
Okay.
And just do your best to answer them the first thing that comes to your mind.
Okie doke.
Okay. All right. I'm
All
bringing
right. Thank y'all.
All right, Brian. I'm going to go ahead and ask you 3 questions from the brain of Hulk.
Okay.
All right.
You're starting to wear the paint off that thing.
All right. First question. What do you fear the most?
What do I fear the most?
Yes.
Fear itself.
Okay. Good answer. Yep. And you answered it pretty quick. That was a good answer. All right. Second question, Brian. When you were a kid, what did you want to grow up to be?
Well, I don't know that I ever knew. Even by the time I got to college, I didn't know what I wanted to be. But the one thing I'll say is every job I ever had along the way, whether it was taking photography pictures or selling computers or whatever, I've used every bit of it. Nothing was ever a waste. So I still don't know what I want to be. I guess I want to be a toy maker. I want to be the chief toy maker to the king.
Sounds good to us.
Yeah. That works.
Good. All right. Last question, Brian. If money was no object, what would be your dream car?
My dream car? Well, it's odd that you say that because I told my wife today, I have a friend who's buying a Corvette, and he was one of my college roommates, and I'm going like, John, you don't need a Corvette because you're going to kill yourself. You don't drive that well. And I told her today, I said, I'm glad I'm not a car guy because I just use a car to get around. I don't really care which one it is much at all. So I don't really have one, Yeah, really have one that go like, oh, I'd love to have a whatever car. But cool. I do have one you need to look up, okay?
Okay.
My dad, I have a car they only made 50 of. It's called an Austin Jolly. And it has no doors. It looks like a Mini Cooper, and it has wicker seats.
Yeah, it's for resorts and stuff.
There were some in some resort. The Budweiser Resort had a red one, I think. But there were only 50 of them.
Yeah.
And there's one sitting out in my garage.
Oh, very cool.
Wow. So there you go.
Well,
better than a golf cart.
Cool. Good answer.
Yep. Okay. Let me bring myself up here for a second here. There we go. And maybe not. There we go. The computer is running slow today. I don't know. We're having issues. So thank you, Brian, for coming along, and we'll get in touch with you again. And maybe we'll have you back in about a year. So
okay.
When you get the room done, we'll set it up again.
I'll look a lot younger by then.
Are you going to shave?
Probably. Probably by then. I don't know.
You don't like that, or
yeah, it's okay. I've done it 2 or 3 times, but you ever been out on the trail for 35 days? So yeah, it's a long way.
I like camping, but I like glamping.
Yes.
So I have to have an RV with air conditioning and cable.
Well, there you go. See, we kind of didn't have any of that.
Yeah.
And I would ask my son, "What are we doing today?" We're walking.
That's not my
Okay.
But anyhow. Okay, guys. Thank you for joining us.
Hey, before you go, how do we reach Brian? Where's?
Do you have a way for people to reach you?
I still have the same email I had before. It was brian@funpubinc.com. Is not any different. That's
still active?
Yep, it's still active. I still keep it up. But then, like I said, if you want to see what we're doing in pinball, go to barrelsoffun.com and you can check that out too.
Okay. Excellent.
It's awesome.
Okie doke. Well, all right. Well, I appreciate you guys, and thanks for staying in the hobby, and thanks for remembering. Because we hope we made an impression on people's lives.
Definitely did.
Yeah. Well, there's friends I would have never had if we hadn't had the conventions. And there's actually people that wouldn't have been married, and I hate to say this, but children that would not been born if we had the convention. But anyway, that's a different story.
Thank you very much, Brian.
All right. Thank you all. Yeah, there you go. I'll just leave you hanging there, okay?
Nice meeting you.
All right, you too.
Join us next week for episode 33 with Greg Brown from Cotswold Collectibles. Everybody have a great evening, and we'll see you later.
Thanks for joining us.
All right, bye.
Bye.
Please like, share, and subscribe. Thanks for watching.